So what we're firstly going to do is on our front long piece that we've cut out, we're making the pocket that's going to sit on the front. So I'll pattern match what will be the front of the zip pocket here. So we're making almost a little zip purse that's going to get attached to the side seams of the front of the bag. So our first step with that is to get one of your lining pieces right side up with your zip along the top edge of that, right side up as well. And with the zipper foot, we're going to stitch that in place. The other pieces we need, the same size as this rectangle for the front zip pocket, are actually 3 lining pieces and 1 oilcloth piece. So it'll be a lined zip purse with a slip pocket behind. So it's going to be the same process of how we make a zip purse. So I've sewn that side of the zip on there, lining right side up, zip right side up. And now normally what would be, say, the same as your oilcloth front, I'm just using another piece of lining fabric because this is going to go against the outer part of the roll top rucksack. So what I'll do is I'll put that right side down now to make my little zip sandwich. And I'm going to pin that and stitch along exactly where I've just gone to attach the other side. Flip that over, and then I'll get the other side of the zip purse added on. So I've just sewn the other side there of the zip pocket. I've folded that over and we've sandwiched that side of the zip like that. So I just need to do this side now, which is going to sit on the front of our bag. So we go back to the beginning again. I'll just flip that round. I lay another lining piece right side up, and I'll pop my zip right side up on top of it. And then I will pin that in place along that top edge with the zipper foot. Sew that on. And then add the final piece. Sewn that with the zipper foot on there, so that's the other lining piece. And now I'm going to get my oilcloth outer piece that matches the front of my roll top rucksack and place that right side down along the top edge of the zip and machine that in place. And then that's all 4 bits sewn around the zip. So I've sewn the last side of my zip purse now. So if I flip that over and show you, this is how we've made a zip purse before. So if I open that up, you can see the lining is nice and finished, and then that's the front and back of what would be your zip purse. And normally we'd then sew it together and make a zip purse. But for this one here, what we're going to do next is, if you get it nice and evenly pressed at the top, we're going to get our outer piece of our bag. Hard to get it all on the camera there, but this is the bottom of the bag. We're going to line this up onto the outer bag from the bottom there, and just make sure, if you'd sewn a slightly longer zip and it was hanging over the edge to help put it on, just undo it a bit so it doesn't get caught in the side seam. And then what we're going to do is just sew round close to the edge down this side of the zip pocket along the bottom and back up, so that this becomes part of our outer, like it's one piece. And the way that this pocket works is it acts as a slip pocket to pop things in there, and also a zip pocket you can keep things in as well. So there's 2 sections to the pocket. So that's our next step. Is I'm just going to sew this close to the edge, and then we'll have a look at adding the other pockets to the lining of the bag next. So a little mistake there. Just before you sew this pocket on, I've realised you need to get your buckle strap sewn on, because we want to just stitch it rather than on the top of here. It will look nicer sort of hidden there behind. So if you get some of your webbing and just cut a piece that's 20 centimetres and get the bottom of your buckle strap there, we're just going to thread that through the bottom part here. So what will happen is we can, I always sort of melt the edges of the polypropylene webbing to stop it unfraying. And once you've done that, you might also just want to fold it over and do a stitch along here, because then that will also make sure it doesn't undo. So once that's done, you've melted that edge. I'd also melt this one as well. It does stop it unraveling. And what we're going to do, so rather than where I just said sew round the 3 edges, is just before we do that, if we just remove that off, and we're going to measure 25 centimeters up from the bottom edge. And if I just put a mark here and find the center of the bag, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to attach this at that point, so that when the bag flaps over, when the pocket flaps over, it will hide the stitching that I put this on with there. So I'll get that level on there. Again, if you want to, melting the edge will be fine, and then what you can do is just sew a sort of square around onto your webbing through to the outer part of the bag with a cross through it that's often seen on handles and on bags, just to make it really strong there. And then I can sew my pocket in place. If I don't do that before, it's just going to be a bit tricky to sew it once the pocket's sewn on there. So that's where it'll sit, and then it will just be tucked under there.